Order. Order. Question number 5, Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Order. I've called Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Housing. Does he believe his government is making it easier for young people in the regions to buy their first home?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, yes, because house prices in the regions have risen more slowly under National, because interest rates have been significantly lower under National, and housing affordability has improved in every region under National. National's policies of expanding the welcome home loans, expanding the KiwiSaver first home deposit subsidies, and introducing the First Home Initiative. Mr Speaker, let me give you the specific numbers for a region like Hawke's Bay. Between 2000 and 2008, house prices went up 116%, and interest rates went from 7% to 11%, meaning the cost of the average mortgage trebled. Under National, in contrast, house prices in Hawke's Bay have gone up by 3%, not 116, and interest rates have come down from 11% to 5%.
Order. Point of order.
Mr Speaker, my point of order was that answer had been going on very long, but I could add to it that the Minister stayed on his feet for an extensive period after you...
The answer was very long. I was hoping it was coming to an end and kept thinking that it was. Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Is he making it easier for first home buyers in Napier, Hamilton and Rotorua, where the proportion of first home buyers has dropped by more than double the national average since his government signed off on loan-to-value ratio lending restrictions? And when will he concede that his housing policy has failed ambitious young New Zealanders trying to buy their first home?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, if you want to know what a failing policy is around house ownership, let house prices more than double as they did during Labour's period. The best way we can help Kiwi families be able to own their own home is to keep interest rates low and to constrain house price inflation, and that is exactly what has occurred under this government.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Why did he agree to the government signing off on LVRs being applied to the entire country when 95% of house price inflation is taking place in Auckland and Canterbury? Incomes are flatlining for most people, housing costs are soaring, and interest rates are heading north of 8% according to the banks, or are they just scaremongering too?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the first point is that interest rates today are 5.85%. When we came to government, they were 11%. So even if the Reserve Bank moves by the odd points later this week, that is, still interest rates will be significantly lower than they were after 9 years of a Labour government. 9 long years, as my colleagues point out. I'd further make the point that the idea that the Reserve Bank can apply its monetary policy on a regional basis is the sort of loopy, lunatic economics that we expect from members opposite.
Supplementary question, Tim McIndoe.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. In what regions has there been an improvement in housing affordability under this national-led government?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the data from the independent Roost Housing Affordability Index make interest in reading. In Northland, housing affordability in this government has improved by 49%. In the Waikato, where the member comes from, housing affordability under this government has improved by 39%. In the Hawke's Bay, housing affordability has improved by 42%. In the Manawatu, it's improved by 49%. In Nelson and Marlborough, my home community, it's improved by 37%. And in Otago and Southland, it has improved under this government by 37%. Mr Speaker, the message is very clear.
Order.
If we want more...
Order. Supplementary question, Phil Twyford. I thought it was for me. Phil Twyford, supplementary question.
Will he admit his mistakes and change his policy to support the regions being exempt from LVR lending restrictions? And if not, how does he justify making regional New Zealand pay the price for his failure to deal with property speculators in Auckland?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, it's been a long-established consensus across this parliament that the Reserve Bank is independent. And I still would love to know, and I'm sure electors would love to know, as they reflect on the sort of interest rates they might pay in future, just what members' policy is opposite. But I say again, the idea that you're going to have different monetary policy in different regions of New Zealand is just loopy economics.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
How can he continue to claim that his policies are fair and even-handed for all New Zealanders when he continues to shut out first home buyers out of the housing market in parts of New Zealand where house prices are static or even declining?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the policies that this government has adopted of ensuring lower interest rates for longer, for increasing housing supply, of initiatives like the Welcome Home Loan expansion, the First Home Deposit scheme, the First Home scheme, all of those schemes ensure that New Zealanders get a fairer crack at home affordability than what they ever got under the previous Labor administration.
Question number 6, Ian McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister for Economic Development, what recent report